Today on the menu is this Musou braised chicken with stewed Cinderella pumpkin and new potatoes with a nice little kick from roasted and dried red peppers that I grew all through summer, preserved for recipes just like this one. On top of that, I'm throwing in this buttermilk biscuit, whipped ricotta cream, and last of the season blackberry compote recipe to boot. These are great additions to any seasonal holiday menu or gathering. Now, the star of the show today is going to be this Musui-Kamado from Vermicular that combines cast iron induction and convection heat distribution in a very unique way. The whole philosophy behind the Musui-Kamado style of cooking is called washoku, but since I'm cooking Western food, it falls under yoshoku, which really is all about flavor preservation and simplification. Founded in 1936 in Japan, Vermicular has been refining its cast iron processes for quite some time on a very high level, and I definitely recommend giving them a look or at least keeping them on your radar. I'll talk a little bit more about it during the video. Check the link in the description for more info on it. Plus, there will be a giveaway, so stay tuned until the end. With all that said, let's get into the recipe. Okay, so the first thing up is the lemon, rosemary, garlic chicken thighs. So in a large bowl, add in the bone-in thighs, freshly torn rosemary, lemon zest, grated garlic, a generous pinch of salt, some lemon juice, and some olive oil. Then give this a really good mix. To sear off the chicken, I'm going to set the Musui-Kamado on medium, set a desired time of use, and it's time to cook the thighs. I recommend 6 to 7 minutes per side, and be mindful to try and not overcrowd the pan if possible. Next, you're going to transfer the chicken to a tray when it's a beautiful golden brown. Then you're going to add a few quartered onions to the musu, place the chicken on top of the onions, add a few cups of water, cover, and braise for about 1 hour. This is where the steam convection really puts in the work with the Musui-Kamado at reducing braising times by about half. One of the reasons it's such a clean seal is that they mill both the lid and the pot to 1/100th of a millimeter accuracy. The cast iron precision is incredibly fun to work with. While that's braising, I'm going to take a section out of this Cinderella pumpkin, which are some of the best cooking pumpkins around. Remove the pulp and seeds, peel the skin off, then break it down into large chunks to cook with. Remove the chicken and you're going to place them into a broiler set to low in order to crisp up the skin a bit. In the musu, you're going to add in the new potatoes, pumpkin, then I'm going to throw in some of my dried and frozen red and green chilies from my garden this past summer for a nice little kick to the cuisson or jus. Cover, then continue cooking for another 15 minutes until everything is super tender. Just remember to remove the dried chilies before serving. To finish this all up, you're going to add freshly chopped parsley to the musu and salt to taste. To plate this, you're going to place a few spoonfuls of the pumpkin and potato stew onto a plate with a few ladles of jus, then the crispy braised chicken, sliced rosemary, thyme, and chives, and one last spoonful of jus over the top. And that's it, Kamado braised lemon garlic thyme chicken with pumpkin and potato stew. Next up is dessert, and at the center of this recipe are these gorgeous last of the season blackberries that I really want to highlight using the Musui-Kamado and some plain old sugar. Simplicity is the key word here. So you're going to add in the blackberries to the musu along with a generous amount of sugar, add a little water if needed, cover, then cook for 10 minutes on medium setting, then turn down to low and cook for 20 minutes or until syrupy and easily coats the back of a spoon. This is something that I really wanted to highlight with Vermicular's Musui-Kamado. You'll notice that there's a dedicated steam vent on the lid that helps relieve pressure during high temp cooking and creates a lightly pressurized convection environment within the Kamado, maintaining maximum flavor retention and cooking efficiency. It also prevents the lid from jumping around during high heat cooking like normal cast iron Dutch ovens. Now it is time for the buttermilk biscuits. So in a large bowl, you're going to whisk together the all-purpose flour, baking powder, and salt until combined. Then you're going to add in cold diced butter and blend it into the flour using your hands or a fork until you develop large, buttery, and floury flakes. Add in the buttermilk and gently mix until the dough has barely come together, but just enough for it not to be a big mess. Undermixing is actually very helpful with buttermilk biscuits. Once that's done, you're going to dump the dough onto the cutting board, form it into a solid mass, and roll it out, fold, and repeat this 4 to 5 times. Place the finished dough onto a tray and place that into the fridge. At this time, the blackberry compote should be finished up, so pour that into a separate bowl and place that into the fridge to cool down and to thicken up. Now that the biscuit dough has chilled for a minute, remove it from the fridge, butter the bottom of the musu, then using a ring cutter, punch out the biscuit rounds and place them into the musu, brush melted butter right over the top, and bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes until golden brown. Last but not least, it's time for the whipped ricotta cream. So add some heavy cream to a bowl along with some brown sugar and whisk it until medium peaks. Very gently, you're going to fold in the soft ricotta and place this in the fridge for 10 minutes just to set up a little bit. Lemon zest and vanilla are really great additions to this, but I'm keeping it ultra simple today. Alright, so to plate this up, you're going to place the warm biscuits on your serving dish, open up the top of the biscuit, and place the blackberry compote down first. Then you're going to put a giant dollop of whipped ricotta cream right over the top, a little bit more of the blackberry compote, then you're going to cap this with the top of the biscuit. Powdered sugar goes everywhere, and this dessert is finished. I really enjoyed using Vermicular's Musui-Kamado, especially for different recipes, whether it's savory or sweet. It can really adapt so well to so many different styles of cooking. Steam roasting, searing, braising, rice cooking, and even fermenting. It just does everything so well and with a lot of intention. You can treat it very similar to a crock pot and set it and forget it, but it has so much more capability when you're a bit more hands-on, in my opinion, especially if you're cooking with seasonal ingredients. I will leave all the info in my description box about Vermicular's Musui-Kamado and how to get a hold of one yourself, so be sure to check that out. I'm also going to give one away to one of you lucky foodies out there, so be sure to leave a comment down below and on my Instagram reel letting me know what you would love to cook with if you had one of these in your kitchen. The giveaway ends on December 1st, and the more comments and suggestions that you have, the more chances you have to win. Good luck, happy holidays, and I'll see you soon with another recipe.